Hi, my name's Alex Whitney, and I do the show Conspiracy 101. And often when I'm doing that show, I'll get asked questions about cork boards, pin boards, conspiracy boards, whatever you want to call them. And I figured I'd do a video describing, explaining, giving some hints. There aren't any steadfast rules for a conspiracy board, but there are a bunch of guidelines that will make a pin board really look, top of the tree. First off, I don't know if you saw me there. Probably one of the first things you noticed is me drinking a Dr. Pepper. Stay hydrated. Okay, there's two camps with this. There really is, and one says limit the amount of phenylalanine that you're intaking for lots of different reasons. Conspiratorial reasons. And then there's the other, which, I'm in, which is the, we need more of it. We need more phenylalanine. In fact, as much as you can possibly take. It really does stop the voices. Okay, let's discuss it. Let's discuss the elephant in the room. Most common question that I get asked, probably after the drink, the first thing you notice you want to talk about. I get it. Is facial hair a requirement? No, it's not a requirement, but I would strongly advise it. And that goes for females too. It adds an air of authenticity, I think. A fully shaved face can't really give you that conspiratorial edge. And I think if you look at the people who are facial hair less, you tend to trust them less. And that obviously, that trust, that knowledge that you're trying to inspire or get across with a conspiracy board is very important. A far less common question I get, obviously, for it's pretty obvious I think to most people watching, but I'll discuss it just in case. Is the tinfoil hat required? No. Again, no. It does depend where you are, obviously. I'm in my underground bunker here. The aluminium foil, I built this myself. The aluminium foil is placed between the plasterboard and the wooden structure. And but it's one of those things, isn't it? You can never be too careful. You never know who's listening in and what future technology may be established in the or already established that you just don't know about. So it is better to be safe than sorry, really. Let's talk about the board itself. I have a centerpiece, something that brings it all together. I was in and you probably saw at the beginning, which flat earth poster to use. I like to have something that I can direct towards, and that usually means a map, but it doesn't have to be. It can be something else. A giant picture of Bill Gates, for example. That would work just as well. I decided on the square and stationary earth just because I thought it was more aesthetically pleasing. Although the truth, the truth is what really matters, isn't it? That's the priority. But it really needs to look good too. That's kind of the point. You might have seen me bopping along to some tunes. I've muted them, obviously, for, reasons. Always have some music going or something in the background that you can listen to. Some Himalayan chanting is always great. A nice 9-hour David Icke lecture. Take your time with this. Always take your time. So that's really good. In my case, I was listening to a trance megamix. Using wool to link. I like using red. I once rang the FBI to see what they used and how they went about linking conspiracies and the method they used. I'm sort of color coding it with some of the red wool. They were very confused, and it's most likely because I'm from the UK. I don't think they could understand my accent, which is fine. So the color coding, it's up to you. Stay consistent. As long as you have a plan that makes sense in your head, that's all that matters, really. I like to interconnect them with the pin color, and lots of these topics are interconnected, even though we have separate episodes of them on Conspiracy 101. But please Please. It's called a pinboard for a reason. For the love of Almighty Jesus, do not use glue. I've used different varieties of pins. I've shown you can use paper clips. You could use twine instead of wool or some kind of string. Don't use glue. All right? Your conspiratorial room should always be sealed and airtight nearly, as best as you can get it. And glue and lack of airflow and glue just do not mix. Also, information changes. Your access to information changes. And you may need to update things along the way, you know, or add. Use pins, people, please. And there we go. Always take a step back. Make sure you're happy with your work. And you will have a beautiful, informative conspiracy board to better explain to spouses or strangers the link between JFK and the Alex Jones DB Cooper connection. And then you've still got enough room just in the corners and on the edges to add that cryptid you read about on Reddit this morning. Good job.